Aquarius, hi. We're doing your life's purpose in a nutshell in 3 cards. I don't know what got over me. So far, it feels like it's working out. It is turning into like some kind of a very general message and yet super specific at the same time. So hopefully it'll resonate, but it can't for everyone, right? It's by default. The setup is 1 major arcana, and out of the minor from the same deck, we're going to draw also and integrate both cards. And then I'll be pulling out of my makeshift deck a keyword to top it all off. So let's just do this and dive in. What is Aquarius's life's purpose in this lifetime? The Chariots. So before I speak, I do need to draw the minor. I just heard that horses are important. Whether symbolically or like real horses, right? For some reason, the horse image or what horses symbolize are important to you, Aquarius. Let me just summarize it that way. They might be a sign for you regarding your life's purpose. Okay, let's draw. Okay. The 7 of Swords. Wow. Okay. You know, a lot of people are like, yeah, the reaction on the 7 of Swords is like terrible. But what I want to point out here is that you have 7-7. So for me, it changes everything because anyway, we're doing a life's purpose reading. So the intent is not to pull out only the negative out of the cards. So give me a moment because I do have to think about this one. I want to tell you the only other sign that had something similar was Libra. They had 66. They had the Lovers and they had the 6 of Cups. So if there's any way that you have in any placement, any Libra placement in your natal charts, it might matter to you. So a lot of people don't know this, but sometimes the 7 of Swords corresponds to an ability in commerce because of the ability to kind of like the bargaining, right? The how you're able to sway someone while you negotiate. Not that you're robbing them, and that I really want to drop all the negative connotations that we usually apply on the 7 of Swords. Please put those in the garbage right now because it's not going to be what I'm focused on in this reading. Not to say that they never are applicable on this card, but not here, not right now, for the moment. So this ability to negotiate, to, you know, really bargain and like really bring it down to, well, for whoever in the trade-off or in the bargain, whichever side, whichever party, the notion that both are trying to get the best deal. So that's really important here. So that's why it points to commerce for one. It also points to negotiating abilities. It points to your ability to see the pitfalls in a situation, right? Or within that negotiation, to see like, it could be the fine print, like you're not gonna miss any. On the contrary, because you're very, you're foxy in this way, right? In a good sense, because you're yeah, I like the word foxy. I'm not sure how to, another way of saying it, because I'm lacking maybe an English word for it, but like you wouldn't be tricked easily. That's what I mean. That's what I really want to tell you. So let's go to the Chariot a little bit here. Your life's purpose. One thing I really, really love about the Chariot, it's the blue. In French we say "dais." It's spelled D-A-I-S. It's, I guess, a canopy, like this sort of piece of fabric that is covering or protecting the person in the chariot that is, and what I really love about this is the blue, the deep blue and the stars. So that always struck me. That's a personal thing, right? Obviously, but I am bringing it here because obviously it evokes like the deep space and the stars, right? The constellations, the planets, the galaxies, if you want to go as further and further and further out. So it evokes all of that. So I'm trying to see how it plays in with commerce, or how it plays in with negotiations, or because it feels very remote. It's almost like having I almost want to say two life's purpose, like kind of like work. And I almost want to say, because there's the two horses, the black and the white, and it's like having not a double life, but parallel life purposes. There's like two reasons for that as well. It's like because you can't choose and you want to do both, and because maybe somehow they tie in somewhere, although they're parallel and they never really cross. They work with each other, they bounce off one another, they actually balance out, they both contribute to you succeeding or you feeling accomplished overall. It's that's the only way I can express this. And so maybe this blue canopy with the stars is one of your paths. Let's say it's astrology, if you want to maybe say that, or any interest in astronomy, any interest in maybe philosophy, religion, things that are metaphysical, right? The things that are, even things like mathematics and physics and quantum physics and everything that is very abstract. And On the Seven of Swords is the opposite. It's the real world, like the tough jungle of having to, you know, deal with, I want to say almost difficult situations, because the Seven of Swords is having to navigate, you know, like, let's say you take the Rider-Waite depiction, you know, the person is tiptoeing away. And that's important because, yes, they don't want to be caught. Yes, they don't want to make any noise. So they're being, in French we say subreptice, you know, like subrepticement, meaning that they're, I have no idea what that word is in English. When I say French words, it's because maybe some French people are listening to me and they would know, and I'm still choosing to say the word. So, and sometimes the word is almost the same in English. So by saying it in French, you might know what it is in English. I don't know if it's the case with this word. I don't think so, but I needed to say that. Anyways, the character tiptoes out, so he needs to be careful. It's like walking on eggshells, right? So that's the part about having to navigate difficult situations, making sure you're not I want to say bruising any egos, because the eggshells for me are like egos. Bruising egos, or stepping on others if you want as well. Mines, like bombs, you know, the mines in the ground, like he would, all of that, all of those analogies of, that's why it's risky business here. So that's an interesting, basically Aquarius, you know, you do have two lines in your glyph. So it's interesting, it's kind of the same thing. It's the same parallel that I'm making. I'm making a parallel between the two horses, your glyphs, the two paths. The fact that one is very philosophical, metaphysical, very abstract, and the other one is like so different, like so, you know, involving commerce, money, negotiations, business, hard business at that. So what a life path. Let's draw one of the makeshift cards here. That's so funny. Okay, you get two. I'm not going to read them. The only exception I just made was for Capricorn, but I really, in this case, I really want just one. So I put them back. Now one flipped. You get the wheel. That's really interesting. You know, I mean, the chariot is like the car, right? It's like it has wheels because it's a chariot. So you know, the wheel, so the wheel of fortune is also success. The chariot is a success card. So there's the notion here that your life's purpose pertains to achieving some kind of success. I want to say maybe more than usual. I think you might be very ambitious, actually. I'm hearing you want to go far because obviously you're traveling, and I think you will travel quite extensively because you have the Chariot for one. But then you have the Wheel. It's just like more motion, more movement. And you know, if you think of the wheel as a circle, the circle is like the earth, the sphere. So I mean, you'd be traveling around the world. You want to go global. You want to be like, part of your success is being global, worldwide. So maybe you do commerce globally, like with different countries, in different countries, for different countries. Maybe you're moving goods through different, you know, around the world, across the world. All of those analogies are tying in. So your life's purpose is twofold, and you might be already like living out one path, but make sure that you eventually develop a second path. You know, you might not be touching on on the other one. Excuse me. So I'm wondering if how much are you really doing both at this moment in time. But I believe that to be fully integrated, you would need to carry on both. And for some reason, I don't know how it's possible, but without necessarily meshing, they would somehow kind of work together or have some kind of leak. One would leak into the other. It's really interesting. I'm not sure how else to describe it to you, but it's like leak. A leakage. Anyways, I hope something resonated in here for you. Of course, I'm saying of course because I always wish that something resonates. Not that it always does, but hopefully it does. That's what I meant. If it did, please comment, because in this series I'm really attached to finding out from you guys if anything spoke to you and touched you, more than even just liking and sharing, right? I mean, in this particular series, I'd really want to hear from you. And if you want, you can subscribe as well, and I'll see you soon. Good night.